never die. When the world is calling you, can you hear them screaming out your name? Legends never die, they become a part of you. Every time you bleed for reaching greatness, relentless, you survive. They never lose hope when everything's cold and the fighting's near. It's deep in their bones, they'll ride into smoke when the fire is fierce. Oh, pick yourself up, 'cause legends never die. When the world's calling you, can you hear them screaming out your name? Legends never die, they become a part of you. Every time you bleed for reaching greatness, legends never die. They're written down in eternity, but you'll never see the price it costs. The scars collected all their lives. When everything's lost, they pick up their hearts and avenge defeat. Before it all starts, they suffer through harm just to touch a dream. Oh, pick yourself up, 'cause legends never die. When the world's calling you, can you hear them screaming out your name? Legends never die, they become a part of you. Every time you bleed for reaching greatness, legends never die. When the world is calling out your name, begging you to fight. Pick yourself up once more. Pick yourself up, 'cause legends never die. When the world's calling you, can you hear them screaming out your name? Legends never die, they become a part of you. Every time you bleed for reaching greatness, legends never die. When you feel it's hopeless, when you think that you're lost, oh, I will take your hand and we'll rise up from the dust. Oh, here we go, 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 let us heal and grow. You won't be alone, we're unstoppable. Don't be afraid to show what we're going for. This is what we know. Here we come back to life, we're still breathing. Standing up, everybody's gonna see it. Oh, all you need to know is that we're holding on. Even if we fall, we will rise up and we follow the path that we believe in. No, we're not gonna stop until we reach it. Oh, all you need to know is that we're holding on. We rise up from the dust and clean my throat. we are on this track. Oh, we all have our burdens, yeah, but we just keep on fighting and we never look back. Here we go, 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 let us heal and grow. You won't be alone, we're unstoppable. Don't be afraid to show what we're going for. This is what we know. Here we come back to life, we're still breathing. Standing up, everybody's gonna see it. Oh, all you need to know is that we're holding on. Even if we fall, we will rise up and we follow the path that we believe in. No, we're not gonna stop until we reach it. Oh, all you need to know is that we're holding on. We rise up from the dust and claim our throne. We rise up from the dust and claim our throne. We rise up from the dust and claim our throne.
Careful making wishes in the dark, dark. Can't be sure when they hit that mark. And besides, in the meantime, I'm just dreaming of tearing you apart. I'm in the deep, deep tears with the devil. Know the world can never get me on my level. I just gotta get you out the cage. I'm a young lover's rage. Gonna need a spark to ignite. But my songs know what you did in the dark. So light 'em up, light 'em up, light 'em up. I'm on fire. So light 'em up, light 'em up, light 'em up. I'm on fire. Dark, dark. Riders keep riding with me. Somewhere another pretty vein just. I got the scars from tomorrow, and I wish you could see that you're the antidote to everything except for me. A constellation of tears on your lashes. Burn everything you love, then burn the ashes. In the end, everything collides. My childhood, spat back out the monster that you see. My songs know what you did in the dark. So light 'em up, light 'em up, light 'em up. I'm on fire. So light 'em up, light 'em up, light 'em up. I'm on fire. Dark, dark. Dark, dark. My songs know what you did in the dark. My songs know what you did in the dark. So light 'em up, light 'em up, light 'em up. I'm on fire. So light 'em up, light 'em up, light 'em up. I'm on fire. Dark, dark. Dark, dark.
You've been strong for so long. You learn to carry this on your own. Let me be someone you can leave.
I keep coming back stronger, stronger and stronger. I keep rising up higher, higher and higher. Been running like a savage, game time automatic. Gotta have it like an addict, it's like winning is a habit. I've been living like a caged up lion. 9 lives gone, but I keep surviving. I keep coming back stronger, stronger and stronger. I keep rising up higher, higher and higher. I'm the legend in the story, chasing down that glory. You can knock me down, but I'm a last round fighter. I keep rising up higher, higher. Got the world on my shoulders, ain't over till it's over. Got the heart of a soldier, quick draw from my holster. Can you feel it getting closer? I keep coming back stronger, stronger and stronger. I keep rising up higher, higher and higher. I'm the legend in the story, chasing down that glory. You can knock me down, but I'm a last round fighter. I keep rising up higher, I keep rising up higher, yeah. I've been living like a caged up lion. 9 lives gone, but I keep surviving. I've been living like a caged up lion. 9 lives gone, but I keep surviving. I keep coming back stronger, stronger and stronger. I keep rising up higher, higher and higher. I'm the legend in the story, chasing down that glory. You can knock me down, but I'm a last round fighter. I keep rising up high, I keep on rising, rising high. I keep on rising, rising high. I keep on rising, rising high. I keep on rising, I keep rising up higher.
Some legends are told, some turn to dust or to gold, but you will remember me for centuries. Just one mistake is all it will take. We'll go down in history. Remember me for centuries. Remember me for centuries. Mama taught my teenage dreams. No, it's nothing wrong with me. The kids are all wrong, the stories are wrong. Heavy metal broke my heart. Come on and let me in. Bruises on your thighs like my fingerprints. This is for to match the darkness that you felt. I never meant for you to fix yourself. Some legends are told, some turn to dust or to gold, but you will remember me for centuries. Just one mistake is all it will take. We'll go down in history. Remember me for centuries. Remember me for centuries. I can't stop till the whole world knows my name, 'cause I was only born inside my dreams. Until you die for me, as long as there's a light, my shadow's over you, 'cause I am the opposite of amnesia. And you're a cherry blossom, you're about to bloom. You look so
Ladies and gentlemen, the time has come for the Masters Division to show what they can do on the circuit of Portimao. We wish all drivers racing tonight good luck and enjoy watching.
Are you ready? Cold-blooded. Are you ready? Are you ready? Cold-blooded. Are you ready? Are you ready? Cold-blooded. Are you ready?
It up there, heat.
Oh,
Devil rejected on Dino, goes in deep, and Devil rejected is out. He's crashed.
You okay?
For him at turn
Yeah.
5.
Okay.
I'm the man that walked out of fire.
It's all about being calm. These guys have an almost fighter pilot mentality.
Goodness, Phoenix Gray is out. And it's the lights out and away we go. One kidney Jim is out. Look at this little battle between the Aston Martins have changed position. On the back of Devil rejected. The Aston Martin and the Alpine. The Aston Martin champion will reject it in front. Him on down the inside. Focus fully. Oh, that free ride out. That big great turn set. And once more they have a little niggle, but it is the Mercedes of Wesley that's through. It's your boy Alfie into the slits. Jimmy's using that battery.
I'm a survivor. I'm not gonna give up. I'm not gonna stop. I'm gonna work harder. I'm a survivor. I'm gonna make it. I will survive. Keep on surviving.
Ahead is now on the plunge in toward turn 1. The genuine plunge hits the brakes into the nearly 90 degree right hand, and now into the turn 3 hairpin. Again, another easy corner to get wrong. Turn 4 rises up towards you. And the traction staying nice there for Devil all the way through this opening sequence. 22.1 through the first sector, now into the turn 5 hairpin. You not quite using all of the track on exit there. Not touching the curbs at all. Now through 6 into 7 and 8. The two difficult double right-hander corners. And that Ferrari looking like it was born to ride these hills like a roller coaster. As now Devil rejected into turn 10 and 11. And now there's the middle sector split, 52.3. With the last sector to go, this looks like a pretty solid lap here from Devil rejected. Couple of corners now, 12 and 13 come pretty quick towards you, and almost a double right-hander to finish off the lap. And here we go, now the run to 15. It's flat out from here. Devil rejected up to the line. Opens up the DRS at the top of the plateau and up to the line. Devil rejected 1:17.8 exactly. That's the benchmark. Who's got the first answer? Johnny Reed going to be the next car up to the line. And Johnny Reed 1:16.1, immediately over 1.5 seconds clear of Devil rejected there. So the benchmark thrown down by the AlphaTauri driver, Moomin Rider there in the McLaren, quarter of a second up on Johnny Reed. Phoenix Gray 7/10 up, slotting into P2. Dutchy there in the Haas car, 1.5 seconds up on Johnny Reed's previous best. One Kidney Jim 1.2 seconds up. There you see more drivers completing laps. There's Daymir 1:17.1. So currently Devil rejected, the slowest driver yet to complete a lap time, but Daddy Cool there 1:17.4 slots into P6 provisionally in the Alpine's got the second Ferrari coming up to the line now. It's Dino F2, and Dino bails and returns to pit lane. So the next is a McLaren. Tom Hackett 51.9 through the middle sector, up to the line for Tom. Goes P5, a 1:17.1. Looks like we're going to see competition around this low 1:17, high 1:16 mark through the day, as that seemingly brings to the end much of the opening round of first flying laps. Who have we got else on the lap? We've got Taz there in the Mercedes Red Wildfire starting a new starting a lap now. Dangerous Dave coming toward the end of his first flying run, and Gio in the Red Bull there just slots in that 21.5, so another slow lap there for the Red Bull. Look, I would imagine potentially a second warm-up lap, as we've got Kurt Maestro as well in the Alpine coming up toward his first end of flying run, and Taz sets a 19.7, goes slowest. Who was that jumping up the order there? I believe that was Dangerous Dave in the Williams, 1:17.119, 0.02 of a second up on Damir for P4. So Dangerous Dave slots into that P5 slot for the moment. Red Wildfire, the last car on a flying run at the moment. We've got 3 cars joining us out on track. Jonathan Coyman, Smalley and Cinders all on outlaps. And Dino back out onto the track as well in the Ferrari. Red Wildfire up to the line. 1:17.4, it goes to P9 there for the Alfa Romeo driver. Who else is on track and potentially on a lap? Gia there has been improving through this lap. I did wonder if that 21.5 was another warm-up lap, and indeed it was, as Gio looks to run up to the line. It's an improvement. It's a 1:20.8, but so not quite enough to get him into the 1 minute teens, as Johnny Reed joins us back out on track, our provisional pole sitter, getting well out of the way off track there. Judging by the mini-map there, you see the McLaren, and Johnny Reed was even wider on track, as Smalley in the Aston Martin plunges down in toward turn 1. The Alpha Tauri there, Phoenix Gray, staying nicely out of the way, but that's not going to matter much to Smalley as he runs a little wide out of 1, and track extends to get his lap invalidated, so he'll get another warm-up lap, let the tyres cool a little bit, recharge the battery and go again. It's Jonathan Coyran in the second Aston Martin, I hope I say that name right, please do correct me if I'm wrong, goes through turns 1 and 2 now, in toward turn 3. Unlike his teammate, keeping it nice and in bounds, and up through 4 now. Who else is on a lap? Dino just starting a flying lap there, and the Ferrari, as is Cinders in the Williams. This will be just behind Jonathan here, as Jonathan rounds turn 5 up to the little jink of 6. Number of people who have already completed their first flying run coming back out onto track as we're 7.5 minutes through the qualifying session. It's flying by here in Portimao, in the hills of Portimao. As Jonathan now in toward the middle sector split, sets a 52 flat with a sector to go. Roadrunner on a flying lap as well, as is Dino, 22.1 through the first sector, 51.9 in the middle sector, so what's that, about 1/10 of a second ahead of Jonathan, who's only got turn 15 to go. Let's really see the aero do its work over the minuscule bumps that really do look to unsettle the car. It's a 17.1, another one into the 17.1s. Jonathan goes into P7 as we look for Cinders setting an 18.3. Dino up to the line now in the Ferrari, jumps to P8, a 17.2, a low 17.2 at that. So another one, that's 5 cars now, all separated by less than 1/10 of a second from Damir down to Dino. And I'm getting told, thank you, Devil, for pointing this out to me, the 2 Aston Martin drivers, Smalley and Jonathan, are a father-son duo. So I wonder if we'll see much family cohesion there between the teammates, as Jazzaboy in the Alfa Romeo on an invalidated lap already, so another slow down lap required there, as Johnny Reed up to the line to complete his second flying lap, goes even faster by nearly 0.3 of a second, 1:15.8. Moomin in the McLaren sets a 16.6 to jump himself up into P2. What can Phoenix Gray do? Phoenix is on a slow lap, maybe going again. No, Phoenix dives back to pit lane. Damir, 0.14 of a second down on his previous best, so improvement here for Damir. Coming in toward the middle sector split, that was Kurt Maestro setting a 17 flat to go, P4. So another one into that low 1:17 boundary that seems to entice a lot of drivers here, as that was a third of a second improvement for Damir through the middle sector. This Haas looking dialed up for this second run here. Might get a little bit of an aero wash off the Alpine ahead, but now that turns into a little bit of a slipstream on the run up to the line. Open up the DRS the moment you can, and Damir retakes P3 with a 16.7. Daddy Cool set a 17 flat to jump P5, just ahead of the team of his teammate. Tom Hackett jumps to P4 with a 16.7. So looks like that 17.1 boundary is becoming a 16.7 boundary, as yet again you see another cluster beginning to form. Phoenix Gray and Johnny Reid back in the pits. I say that, and Johnny Gray rolls down pit lane to join us back out on track. Who else is on a flying lap? Let's have a look. The Dutchie on a run back to the pits. The two Red Bulls, we've got Gio on a outlap, getting ready to have a crack to improve on that. 1 minute 20.897. Jazzerboy is out on track, 29.8 through the first sector. This is another slow lap by the looks of it, 1 minute 6.4. This will be quite a way off the pace, I believe, for Jazza. Got a Williams coming up to the line there. That must be Dangerous Dave. Let's cut to Dangerous Dave, who sets a 16.7, improves by 3.5 tenths of a second, goes into P4 onto the second row of the grid, 7 thousandths behind Damir, 9 thousandths ahead of Tom Hackett. So small margin separating P3 through 5 there. As who else is on a flying lap? We've got Devil Rejected on a flying lap, just going through turn 3 there. Taz in the Mercedes on an invalidated lap, just as we cut to, running wide through turn 7. Gio on an invalidated flying lap as well in the Red Bull. So a momentary pause in the action here with just over 6 minutes to go, a third of the session left. As Devil Rejected, seemingly the only car on a legal flying lap at the moment. As we have the Aston Martin of Jonathan Coyron back out on track. Devil bailing out and doing some formation flying with the Ferrari teammate there of Dino. Not sure what's going on there, but a little bit of Ferrari formation flying like it was Monza. We just follow Gio around momentarily. We've got Dangerous Dave on his way back to the pits. Phoenix Gray on a flying lap, improves by 46 thousandths of a second through the first sector on the run down toward turn 5. We'll follow the AlphaTauri. A little bit of a wiggle there out of turn 5 there for Phoenix. And now through 7 and 8, the two difficult corners. The Red Bull providing some dirty air just ahead, won't make traction much easier out of turn 8, but Phoenix gets the power down nonetheless, and on the run in toward turn 11, turn 10 I should say now, 51.4, 2/10 of a second improvement here from Phoenix Gray, looking to jump ahead and claim an AlphaTauri front row here. As into 12 and into 13 and 14 comes Phoenix in the AlphaTauri. Currently sits on a 16.8. 2-cent improvement would see him reclaim that front row position, and it looks like, judged by the middle sector split, that's what we'll get to see as Phoenix up to the line. 16.668 goes to P3, 0.04 of a second behind Moomin in the McLaren, so narrowly missing out there on the front row is Phoenix. He should have time to get back to pit lane, put a new set of softs on, and get back out on track and get round to take the flag for one last flying lap. A number of drivers now on track on flying runs. Here's one of them, Kurt Maestro, currently sits P8 on a 17 flat. Only a matter of hundredths of a second behind the teammate there is Kurt Maestro, so very little separating the two Alpine cars as Dino somehow finds the gap between them on a 17.043 and goes into the P8 position. Who else is coming around the final corner? We've got Haas coming around the final corner. That must be the Haas, therefore, of Damir on an outlap. We've got a Aston Martin coming up toward the line, and it's Jonathan in the Aston Martin up to the line. 16.9 goes to P7 there. 1/4 of a second improvement. Solid improvement all the way there for Jonathan. that was one of the McLarens starting a new lap, I believe. No, that was Moomin finishing a finishing the next flying lap, a 16.544 to just cement his hold on P2. The Dutchie up to the main straight, dives into pit lane. Kurtmeister up to the line, improves by 96 thousandths of a second, jumps Daddy Cool. As there was movement there out the corner of my eye in the timing standings, I believe it was Roadrunner setting a 17.8. Smallly on a lap, I believe, but not going much quicker than that 17.8. Taz has just set an 18.7, an improvement of around about a second. Gio on an outlap and Jazza on an outlap. All but 5 drivers on track with 2.5 minutes to go. And I imagine that we could very well get all 20 drivers out on track before the flag falls. As Damir returns to pit lane, so maybe not all 20 drivers out on track then, as Jonathan follows him in. 2 minutes 10 left. These guys will have to be really quick to get a new set of soft starts. Johnny Reed rumbles back down pit lane in the AlphaTauri, joins us on track for an outlap. That was a Red Bull crossing the start-finish line. That was One Kidney Jim setting a 117.3, or starting a new flying lap, I believe. There's Gio, the next car to start a new flying lap. The AlphaTauri Phoenix staying nicely out of the way into turn 1, judging by the mini-map. Here we go, that was Alfa Romeo car crossing the line. Wasn't Jazza, so that must have been Red Wildfire. There you go, just cutting to Red Wildfire. Starting a new flying lap, I believe, but up by 0.14 of a second through the first sector, so no improvement here for the Alfa Romeo. So at this point we'll try and follow anyone as they come up to the line to finish flying laps. So Cinders though is on another slow lap here, so Cinders getting ready to go again for one flying lap. As Moomin retires from the session, that's 16.5, that McLaren's personal best, as Cinders parks off the track. The Dutchie retires from the session on the exit of turn 4. Not sure what's gone on there. One Kidney Jim rounds the final corner, up to the line, looking to improve on the 17.3. Does by 0.3 of a second, goes to a 17 flat. Ties lap time with Dino F2 in the Ferrari. We finally get one on this channel, a tied time. Johnny Reed starts a new flying lap with yellows down the main straight for the Williams of Cinders, I believe. 22 seconds left on the clock. Phoenix crosses the line now to start a new flying lap. We've got the Alpine of Daddy Cool on the way up to the line, is bailing into the pit, so no improvement there. We've got a Mercedes coming up to the line, that must be Taz diving into the pits. We've got the 2 Ferraris coming up next. Devil Rejected is going to finish the lap up to the timing beam. 18 flat does not improve. Dino does not improve due to an invalidated lap, so that we've got a Red Bull now on track, and it's Gio and One Kidney Jim who just set that 17 flat, so I won't expect to see an improvement here from One Kidney Jim. So we're looking now toward Johnny Reed, who's improved by 1/10.5 through the middle sector. So Johnny Reed really looking to claim that pole position. He's 7/10 clear of anyone else at the moment. Dangerous Dave set a 16.6 into P3 there. What can Phoenix do to make it an AlphaTauri front row? Meanwhile, Johnny Reed rounds the final corner up to the line. A 1:15.7 improves by 1/10.5. Johnny Reed 15.712. The next car up to the line is Gio. Does not improve on that. 1 minute 20.8. Tom Hackett up to the line, goes P3, a 16.5 there. The AlphaTauri of Phoenix does sneak ahead of the 2 McLaren, so it's 2 AlphaTauri, 2 McLarens across rows 1 and 2. The 2 Devil Rejected is the last car to take the flag, but is on a slow lap. So there we go, qualifying comes to the end for the Portuguese Grand Prix. Johnny Reed, Phoenix Grey, Moomin Rider, Tom Hackett, the top 4. Dangerous Dave takes P5 for Williams. Damir P6 in the Haas. Jonathan P7 in the Aston Martin. The 2 Alpines P8, P9 only separated by 34 thousandths of a second in the end. Dino on that 17 flat ahead of One Kidney Jim by pure chance of the fact that he set that time before the Red Bull. Nothing separating the drivers in P10, P11. The Dutchy, the last in the first in the mid 1 minute 17 bracket ahead of Red Wildfire, Cinders and Devil Rejected as the session comes to an end. And the taster has been at least set for the Grand Prix, with some distinct groups seemingly coming more apparent due to the timings. There you see the timings breakdown just to see kind of the brackets emerge, and there you see kind of Phoenix Grey all down to One Kidney Jim separated by 0.6 of a second, and then the Dutchy down to Smalley separated by another 0.6 of a second, and then Tasmanager on that 18.4 will look to improve, as will the Red Bull of Geo, 1 minute 20.9, and Jazzboy the only car not to set a representative lap time at all, so some masked pace there from one of the two Alfa Romeo drivers, with Red Wildfire sitting P13.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the fast-paced world of MSC F1 Esports. Join us as we witness the world's top talent battle it out in the ultimate virtual racing showdown. Get ready for heart-stopping moments, breathtaking overtakes, and unforgettable memories. This is MSC F1 Esports. Let the race begin.
See for the Hungarian Grand Prix, and it's lights out and away we go.
Good evening, my people up in the chandeliers. And dining, the menu is blood, sweat, and tears. Everybody ready, raining down confetti. Champions are born right now. Ain't about the glamour, click goes the hammer. Run when you hear that sound. Heroes never die, gonna make it to the finish line. We know we survive.
Excellent job, mate.
Slide. Their dreams just keep dripping out of their golden cups. I'm starving, leftovers ain't enough. Ain't about the Royals, they do nothing for you. All you got is you right now. Who's gonna falter? Who is gonna conquer? Better never count me out. Heroes never die, gonna make it to the finish line. We know we survive, even if we crawl to the finish line. I'm a believer, underdog dreaming, don't need no tears. World's gonna say it. Heroes never die, gonna make it to the finish line. Gotta make it to the finish line every day, every day. Gotta make it to the finish line. Gotta make it to the finish line every day, every day. Heroes never die. Gotta make it to
for a move on Jonathan. Here comes the McLaren of DMT. Oh, he goes left and then to the right, and he makes the move. That was clean, crisp, and quality racing from the McLaren driver up to P6. Enders round, oh my God! Enough. Phoenix Gray once again has shown
you are the new champion of the world.
up their heat. Devil rejected on Dino, goes in deep, and Devil rejected is out. He's crashed.
You okay?
Forum at turn 5.
Okay, mate. I'm the man that walked out of fire.
It's all about being calm. These guys have an almost fighter pilot mentality.
Goodness, Phoenix Gray is out. And it's the lights out and away we go. Everyone, Kidney Jim is out. Look at this little battle between the McLaren minds have changed positions. On the back of Devil rejected. The Aston Martin and the Alpine. The Aston Martin champion will reject him. Portimao down the inside. Focus fully. Oh, that free ride out of that big late turn 10. And once more they have a little niggle, but it is the Mercedes of Wesley that's through. It's your boy Alfie into the slits. Jimmy's using that battery.
I'm a survivor. I'm not gonna give up. I'm not gonna stop. I'm gonna work harder. I'm a survivor. I'm gonna make it. I'm a survivor. Keep on surviving.
The new season of MSC F1 Esports is here. Season 3.
And it's the lights out and away we go.
I'm the legend in the story, chasing down that glory. I keep rising up high. I keep rising up high.
The next stop will be at 2034 GMT, BST I should say, so in 5 minutes time. So 5 minutes of me to try and fill the dead space. And watched it. You just praying then Red Wildfire for it to be a good game, not to be a just praying that it's not F1 2015 or F1 2014 all over again and the abomination that those were. Yeah, I've got to say I got to agree with you on that one. I have been watching the deep dives, and yeah, well, all of the kind of the standard work to make sure that the tracks look as realistic as possible seems to have gone in, which is always an encouraging sign, I have to say. I remember F1 2009, and some of the tracks did not look right back then. The first Cody's game that was on the Wii, I want to say. And then F1 2010, the first of the Xbox 360 games that Cody's made, the first real game that Cody's made. as we've got drivers readying up. I thought we weren't supposed to be going for another 4 minutes, but it looks like that Johnny Reid leading the march toward the Grand Prix. So it looks like we'll have a race in slightly quicker than necessarily thought.
Passes with a total of 58. That DRS zone down the main straight, which helped many of those overtakes, has been shortened by 120 metres. We'll see what difference that makes in hot, sunny, but blustery conditions this afternoon. A top speed of 212 miles an hour. Not one, but two DRS zones. They put one in between turn 4 and 5. And Lewis Hamilton with the race lap record. This was last year's race. Lance Stroll and a move on Lando Norris that really didn't do Lance Stroll any favours. He was the only driver to retire from the race, 19 finished. Carlos Sainz had an excellent start. He started 7th. By the end of lap 1, he was up into first place. This is the move on Valtteri Bottas. He led 4 of the 5 opening laps. And Kimi Räikkönen from 16th on the grid, getting past Alex Albon here to move up into 7th place. He'd eventually move up into 6th before finishing 11th in the race. The tyre compounds, the same as they were last year. C1 is the hard, C2 is the medium, C3 is the soft. And the medium tyre, very much the favoured race tyre. The top 4 all start on that yellow striped tyre. But will the soft tyre runners at the beginning get a better launch off the line, and will they be a threat in the opening couple of laps?
No heroics into Sandevot, please. Oh, and there is a call for a reset going on in the Discord server. Not sure what's going on there. Well, we'll find out in a moment or two's time as it's lights out and away we go. And Phoenix Grey immediately retiring from the session. Indeed it is. It's another retirement race. Something has gone on in the lobby settings, not quite. Someone readied up. Someone readied up. I thought it was someone jumping the... I thought potentially a lobby setting was wrong, but no, just someone jumping the gun. I've heard of lights out and away we go and a jump start, but jump is starting by kind of 2 minutes before everyone's ready. It's got to be a new one. Well, there we go. Wouldn't necessarily be a sharp stream without a little bit of without a little there going on on the first lap of the Grand Prix. One-way ticket to space. Well, I mean, it's what, yeah, as you said, Johnny, one-way ticket to getting spaced in on the run down toward turn 1. What do you reckon though? 7/10 clear in qualifying. Any chance you would go lap him by the end? Well, back to the lobby we go. Another temporary reset for Season 3, Round 6. The Portuguese Grand Prix for MSC F1 Masters Division. MSC, of course, being the abbreviation of the great Michael Schumacher, the first driver to claim 7 world titles, even if, I've got to be honest, even if there are a couple of dubious incidents. 1994 springs to mind, but that's all for the past. That's all debate for historians now. Right now we've got 20 drivers, well, quite literally champing at the bit and getting ready to go, with one deciding to press the go button a couple of minutes early. So you just see a quick run through. It looks like the grid order should remain the same from just immediately from the last one. If not, we'll find out a new start time. Jokes going on with kind of the false pretenses of who actually pressed the ready button, the go button, 2 minutes early. Someone just jokingly, I believe, threw around Johnny Reid was the one that jumped start. That would be an interesting one. Dino saying BP10 P11 by the second corner. Tom Hackett making a couple when it starts and you came running back. Oh dear, that would have been a time. Someone missing the start of a Grand Prix for making a cup of tea. Well, there we go. Lights out going to be at 8:40, 20 to 9 British time, GMT. BST, I should say, is the summer now as I look out my window, and there is indeed sunlight outside for the first time in a long time. And there we go. Just confirmed in the chat. Race start at 20:40, and we are down one driver. So the game will be who has not got a teammate. We've got 2 Alfa Romeos, 2 Astons, 2 McLarens, 2 Williams, 2 Haas cars, I believe, 2 AlphaTauri, 2 Mercedes, 2 Ferrari. I think it's a Red Bull we're missing. Someone's saying they've been banned. Ah, okay, that'll be a... Well, there we go. Back to the lobby we go. Or back to the grid we go. "15 seconds to load into the lobby." Indeed it was. It was one of the Red Bulls we're missing. A Gio, I believe, is the driver we are down. As everyone looks to ready up, load up, or not ready up, but pick strategies, there you see it is indeed one of the Red Bulls. One Kidney Jim, the sole Red Bull driver here today. As we'll see people pick strategies, load setups. It being such an undulating circuit and various traction zones, I can imagine it being quite a tyre-hungry track. So whether we'll see a medium to hard strategy or hard-medium strategy, or maybe even a two-stopper across the 33 laps. It's not a short length of time to go racing, so we I imagine very well could see multiple stops. Obviously, those watching, you don't need to put your strategies into the Twitch chat. It would be very funny if you did, but you don't need to. It's all speculation for me, as now the clock ticks down. We have less than a minute to go to lights out. There we go. There's 20:40 on my clock that I look on my clock on my phone. So we should hopefully begin to have drivers readying up now, or at least one of the admin drivers ready up. As still we wait. As here we go now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights. And it's lights out and away we go for the Portuguese Grand Prix. It looks like a reasonable start for both the AlphaTauris, but it looks like Phoenix Grey potentially has a slightly better run. And here comes Moomin round around the outside of Phoenix Grey into turn 1. That was one of the Williams, Dangerous Dave. Going round the outside of Tom Hackett, and that was a spinner there off to the inside, and it was the other Williams that got caught up in that as well. MSC Cinders going backwards, Jonathan and Damir going side by side, and 3 goes Kurt Meister on the run out of turn 4. Here comes Dino on the run down toward turn 5, but it is Johnny Reed leading the way from Moomin Riders. Phoenix in P3, Dangerous Dave P4, Damir P5, Kurt Maestro P6, Dino getting ahead of Jonathan. Jonathan with the great exit out of turn 5 will hold P7 on the run out of turn 5. Daddy Cool P9, Red Wildfire making up ground into P10. One Kidney Jim sitting behind in P11. Devil Rejected, that was a spinner there. That was Red Wildfire. Just as I said, he was making up ground into P9. Falls back down the order to P19. That spin out of turn 8. That devilishly tricky turn 8 as Devil Rejected holding on to P11. There in the background you see Tom Hackett trying to scythe his way through past the 2 Mercedes cars after that spin at turn 1. But as we head back toward the end of the opening lap, it's Johnny Reed on soft tyres rounding turn 15 who will lead the pack back up over the kind of the tabletop of the start finish straight. Johnny Reed leading by just about 0.3 of a second over Moomin Rider. Dangerous Davis just made up a place on Phoenix Grey. That is for P3. Damir P5. Kurt Maestro P6 has got the Alpine in a good position there. The Dutch are getting a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. I presume boxing to replace any damage. Roadrunners spinning out there on the inside at turn 1 and falls down the order to P18. Tom Hackett after that spin up into P13. A second behind Smalley will be following the McLaren's progress through the race pretty closely, I imagine. One Kidney Jim trying to outdrag Devil Rejected on the run in toward turn 7 and 8. Be careful. Oh, just about. Devil Rejected just about keeping it on the bounds of the racetrack and gets up into P10. The last of the points paying positions, but is 2.5 seconds behind Daddy Cool. So already we're beginning to see a field split emerge as Dino begins to drop off the back of Jonathan. That's P7 and P8. Jonathan, though, right nestled up behind Kurt Maestro, will follow this round turn 14. But at the end of the second lap, just as Johnny Reed heads down the main straight, it's Johnny Reed with an 18.7 in the lead, a second clear of Moomin Rider, importantly breaking DRS range. Dangerous Dave sits P3 ahead of Phoenix Grey. Damir P5. Jonathan has just sent one up the inside of Kurt Maestro for P6. Smalley has taken One Kidney Jim for P11 up the inside, taking a lot of the inside curb there. Runs wide out of 1. One Kidney Jim goes back up the inside and tries to retake P11 as here comes Tom Hackett as Smalley gets a little bit stuck on the inside at turn 4. Tom Hackett clean around the outside, now trying to slipstream past the Red Bull on the run in toward 5, but he's a little too far back. Smalley very late on the brakes trying to have a look around the outside. He's offline there and through goes Jazzaboy in the Alfa Romeo. No, not quite on this occasion, but good racing here in the midfield for this battle really for P10 as One Kidney Jim tries to get back inside DRS range of Devil Rejected. This will play a massive kind of fishing line for everyone, trying to keep the gaps as close as possible because it is a very long main straight here, or at least a very long main traction zone, as Johnny Reed leads by 1.5 seconds. The Dutchie having issues there at turn 4 after a very early pit stop sent him careening down the order. Smalley has got a penalty. I'm not sure if that will be for track extension, but Johnny Reed leads by 1.4 seconds as we go on to lap 4. Dangerous Dave sits P3. Not for much longer though, as here comes Phoenix Grey down the inside. Can Dangerous Dave go for the old switcheroo? Looks now back up the inside at turn 3. That's very nicely done between both drivers here. In the background though comes Damir, Jonathan and Kurt Maestro, as well as Dino and Daddy Cool. This gap, this is the battle for P5 on the run down toward turn 5, and it's going to be Jonathan looking up the inside. Doesn't commit to the inside of the Haas, maybe on the exit though. Devil Rejected gets a 3-second time penalty. I imagine that was for running a little wide out of turn 3 or turn 1. As Devil Rejected still holding P10, but is now already 6 seconds off the back of Daddy Cool. One Kidney Jim sitting behind with Tom Hackett there, must be wishing to just get ahead of this Ferrari, try and not let that gap get any bigger, as the Dutchie gets another penalty for speeding in the pit lane. That's at least 10 seconds he's got. Tom Hackett having a look up the inside into turn 10. Tom, that would be a very brave move indeed. But down the main straight we head with the leaders, and it's Johnny Reid still out in front. 1.6 seconds now, the gap going up pretty consistently down the main straightaway. Dangerous Dave 2.25 seconds off the back of Moomin Rider, and this could get bigger. Here comes Phoenix Grey. DRS down the inside in toward turn 1. Phoenix Grey in the AlphaTauri retakes P3, although Dangerous Dave having a look back up the inside just like he did a lap ago. The old switcheroo working out an absolute treat there for Dangerous Dave through that first couple of corners. That was a spinning Haas, I believe. No, it wasn't. It was the Dutchie getting lapped. Just we see that midfield fight, and here is Tom Hackett now trying to get past One Kidney Jim. Both just got past Devil Rejected, and now Tom Hackett on the run down toward turn 5. He's got the inside line. It's masked by our timing tower, but there he goes up the inside. Tom Hackett into P10. 7.5 seconds the gap to Daddy Cool ahead. Devil Rejected was trying to have a look there at One Kidney Jim, but nothing going on this occasion. This midfield battle could really make us make me have to work all through the rest of the day here. As here comes Smalley now trying to have a look round the outside at turn 9 and to the inside at turn 10. Smalley takes the inside line up into P12. Great move there from the Aston Martin driver. He tries to stick inside DRS range of One Kidney Jim as well. How crucial could that be for defending P12 down the main straight? Meanwhile, speaking of defending down the main straight, Phoenix Grey approaches on Dangerous Dave. Yet again, we've got the helicopter shot this time. And there you see the closing speed. Dangerous Dave with the tail light blinking. He's running out of ERS here. Phoenix Grey up the inside into turn 1. Doesn't allow Dangerous Dave to go for the old switcheroo, but that doesn't stop Dave having a look up the inside at turn 3. The soft tyres of Phoenix Grey. However, on this occasion, better traction. He had the racing line. Phoenix Grey up into P3, but now on the run down toward turn 5. Dangerous Dave on the inside with DRS. That seems to be a very easy move unless Phoenix can hang it around the outside, but no. Dangerous Dave runs him out of road. Completely fair enough. Dangerous Dave holds on to P3 for the moment, but here comes Jonathan now. He's just got ahead of Damir in the Haas car. Up into P5 is Jonathan, and now putting pressure on Dangerous Dave, who looks to be the cork in the bottle. The driver of this group on medium tyres, and I say that and I see Kurt Maestro there on medium tyres as well. P7 in the Alpine sitting in this train very happily too. He's bringing Dino and Daddy Cool along with him. Tom Hackett still 7.5 seconds behind Daddy Cool, but importantly a second clear of One Kidney Jim, who's got Smalley right up his tailpipe. Only that gap at half a second. As we'll cut back now to the main straightaway. Johnny Reid onto lap 7 goes the leader, 2.7 seconds clear. Moomin Rider, Dangerous Dave 6/10 ahead, and that gap's coming down all the way. Both cars blinking their ERS lights, and Phoenix looking for a look to nothing there up the inside into turn 1. Thought about a move, but nothing was going. We had some overtaking lower down the order. That was Jazzaboy getting ahead of Devil Rejected, I believe. Not sure what went on there, but there's a 2-second gap already merged there as Cinders gets ahead of Taz, and we have an issue for Damir, who's spun out of turn 4, lost his front wing, destroyed the DRS marker on the inside, and DNFs himself with the game's traction control turned off there for Damir. No safety car in MSC, so the racing goes on all the same, but that's just one car less in the leading fight that is for the podium, and one car more in the midfield fight that's going to have a look at getting some points now. And Dino beginning to fall away off the back of Kurt Maestro here. The Ferrari not quite being able to keep pace with Dangerous Dave and Phoenix, it seems to be, but I say that and I see that Phoenix is outside of DRS as well. He's only got a corner to try and close down that 0.2 of a second. If not, it could be Jonathan having a look at P4 on the run in toward turn 1, and indeed I think it's close there for Phoenix. Whether he got DRS, we'll have a look in a moment as he goes over the crest. No, Phoenix did not get DRS, so this opens up an opportunity here for Jonathan as Taz gets ahead of Cinders there in the back, in the lower down the order. Daddy Cool still sitting up behind Dino, trying to put some pressure onto the Ferrari driver. We still got Smalley, who's having to fight off Jazzaboy, who's gone up the inside into turn 1. Jazzaboy on hard tyres, looking to go deep into this race. in the Alfa Romeo, but up into P11 now, and already 7 tenths behind One Kidney Jim. That's the joys of DRS trains. If you're a faster driver, you can just use them to your advantage to slipstream your way through and up. But one Haas car already a lap down, one Haas car out the race. Bad day for Haas, as we're only 8 laps into the Portuguese Grand Prix, and it looks like no points for Haas here today in the Algarve. Meanwhile, up at the front of the field, Johnny Reid leads by 3.5 seconds over Moomin Ryder. Dangerous Dave 2.5 seconds behind Moomin in P3. Phoenix Gray 2.5 sitting in P4. We got a spinning Dutchie there on the inside at turn 8. Jonathan sitting 7 tenths behind Phoenix Gray. Looked like he just got a good exit there out of turn 14 through turn 15. It's going to count, but the straight line speed of the AlphaTauri seems to be a little too much for the Aston Martin as they open up DRS down the main straight over the grid box as they come. And in toward turn 1. Is Jonathan close enough for a move? No, not on this occasion. As we look further down, Daddy Cool beginning to drop off a little bit from Dino. The Dutchie decides to count his losses and retires from the session, so no points here for the Haas cars whatsoever. No finishes for the Haas cars either, it has to be said. Dangerous Dave beginning to come back a little bit here at Moomin Ryder. That gap now coming down to 2.2 seconds as we cut to this chase. And I just begin to wonder whether the soft tyres are going off a bit, because that gap between Phoenix and Dave is getting bigger all the while as well, as they go through the end of the middle sector. As we follow Phoenix and this battle for P3 that's really going on. Dangerous Dave really is getting closer to Moomin Ryder. That gap now at 2.1 seconds, 2 seconds through turn 14. That track, I reckon those soft tyres are going off a little bit, and Phoenix Gray could become vulnerable here to Jonathan in the Aston Martin. Soft tyres round turn 15. You should get the slipstream. The tail light blinking for Phoenix, less than 10% battery there in that AlphaTauri. Here comes the Aston Martin. Too far back on this occasion, but that gap is definitely coming down. Phoenix maybe overcooking his soft tyres, trying to get past Dangerous Dave in the first couple of laps, and that's now hurting the AlphaTauri in this part of the stint as the gap up in front. 4.5 seconds between Johnny Reid and Moomin, 1.8 seconds between Dave and Moomin, as Taz and Cinders continue to battle on. As Cinders dives for pit lane in the Williams. What is going on that Williams car? We'll find out in a moment. And it is a set of mediums for Cinders, potentially looking, I believe he's just gone medium. So Cinders then shaping up for a 2-stop race at the very minimum. Comes out back into track, obviously plenty of space around him, but 18 seconds behind the Mercedes of Roadrunner. Meanwhile, up in the front, the gap at 5 seconds now between Johnny Reid and Moomin. Dangerous Dave 1.5 seconds behind Moomin now. Phoenix 2.3 off Dave, and this really is the difference in tyre performance over a stint. And here comes Jonathan again. Looks a little further back on this occasion compared to a lap ago, but with DRS open, is he close enough to send it? He's in the slipstream on the run down toward turn 1. He looks closer on this occasion, but no, nothing going there for Jonathan in the Aston Martin. He's bringing Kurt Maestro along as well, just about. Dino and Daddy Cool just beginning to drop off this pack's tail, so some space forming up, and Tom Hackett in the McLaren has lost time to the leading pack that he was in all through qualifying. That gap now 8.2 seconds, but he's bringing One Kidney Jim along with him. One Kidney Jim, another driver on hard tyres. In fact, let's have a quick look at just who's on what tyre compounds. There you see soft, medium, soft, medium, medium, hard, Jazzaboy and hard as well. Soft, medium, soft, hard, medium. The tyres that are 17 remaining drivers are on now. And there you just see a quick penalty count as well. Smalley with 3, Double Rejected with 6, Taz with 3, Roadrunner with 3, just as I bring the penalty count into into public reference. But up at the front, lap 12, and we've got Jonathan again putting pressure on Phoenix down the main straight. He's further back on this occasion. Jonathan, I reckon you just need to stay behind in the slipstream all the way down to turn 1. I don't think you're close enough to scare Phoenix offline into a defensive error. Save the tyre a little bit, because of course every time you do that you're burning tyre life with the little jinx up the inside. As Wildfire now in the Alfa Romeo gets ahead of Devil Rejected. That was into turn 1 with DRS up into P13. Roadrunners now gets a 5-second penalty to go on top of the 3-second penalty for speeding in the pits, but he retires in the pit lane, so another driver gone. We're down to 16 remaining here at the Portimao circuit. As up at the front of the field, Johnny Reid 7 seconds clear now. But importantly, I said Moomin Rider's tyres potentially going off. Dangerous Dave now inside a second of the McLaren driver. Has he got the battery to make a move on the first time out into turn 1? Unlike, say, Jonathan on the back of Phoenix, as Johnny Reid dives into pit lane, the leader into the pits. Here goes Moomin as well, so Dangerous Dave will have clear track ahead of him to DRS. Blast his way down the main straight. We'll have a look at what tyre Johnny is putting on in a moment. Will it be mediums or hards? It's a set of mediums for the AlphaTauri driver, so that sets up strategies pretty nicely as the two leaders in pit lane. Johnny will get out ahead, maybe just about a Tom Hackett. No, Tom Hackett looks to have got out ahead of Johnny Reid. Johnny Reid, though, splitting Tom Hackett and One Kidney Jim, so a little bit of respite there for Johnny, not falling behind the battle of One Kidney Jim, Jazzerboy and Smalley. Moomin Rider came out behind that pack, but in a bit more clear space than Johnny, so an advantage here potentially for Moomin for at least a little while, as Taz into the pits with Devil Rejected as well, both going on to medium tyres. But now at the front of the field, it's Dangerous Dave leading Phoenix by 3 seconds on those medium tyres. Still going well, 13 laps into the stint. We've got to follow Johnny Reid. How much quicker is he on those medium tyres? Well, he's already on the back of Tom Hackett as they head through turn 10 in toward turn 11 in the middle sector split. As Jonathan very close to the back of Phoenix is the closest we've definitely seen Jonathan in a long time. Though Phoenix, I imagine, will dive to pit lane, as will Jonathan, so it's a battle of the pit crews here. As Kurt Maestro stays out on track, Phoenix with a double front lock-up into pit lane. Got it slowed down though, importantly, as Johnny Reid on the back of Tom Hackett. DRS open down the inside. That move getting done a long way before turn 1. Johnny Reid up into P4 in the Grand Prix, 8.6 seconds behind Daddy Cool. This is where we'll see just how fast those medium tyres truly are. As Johnny Reid gets a 3-second time penalty for track extension, running potentially a little wide out of turn 3. Moomin Rider sits 4.5 seconds behind Smalley, One Kidney Jim and Jazzboy, and that is the current battle for P6. Phoenix Grey remained ahead of Jonathan Coyron, although Jonathan lost about half a second through the pit lane process. Red Wildfire in P12, Dino P13, Cinders P14, Devil P15 and Taz P16 is the running order. As we look, and Johnny Reid, despite that 3-second penalty, has taken 2 seconds out of Daddy Cool on this lap alone. That gap down to 6.5 seconds now. And Tom Hackett, has to be said, a couple of laps ago was only a second and a half clear of One Kidney Jim. That gap now at 2.7, and Jazzerboy looking to make use of those hard tyres. Johnny Reid, a 1 minute 18.6, new fastest lap of the race. That goes to show us his pace of Smalley diving into pit lane there in the Aston Martin. Will filter out probably somewhere, I'd imagine, around probably in the gap between Dino and Cinders, as Phoenix Grey 4 seconds behind Moomin Rider now. Of course, that is the battle for Phoenix trying to undercut Dangerous Dave and create a big enough gap that, well, that's going to help him as Dangerous Dave picks up a 3-second time penalty. Phoenix trying to undercut Dangerous Dave and create a gap in which Dave will have to use his tyres to eat through before then having an attack at Phoenix. And having Jonathan so close behind, 1.1 seconds is that gap. I wonder whether these two could work together and let it come down to effectively the last 3 laps on who will get the podium out of the two. But we're still a long way to go, not yet hit at half race distance here at Portimao, and it's Dangerous Dave 5 seconds clear of Kurt Maestro, yet to stop over the top 3. And then behind Kurt Maestro, Daddy Cool 2.2, got 3 seconds a gap back to Johnny Reid, who has stopped and is making searing progress back through the time gap. That of his vacated lead. He was leading until the first round of pit stops. Moomin Rider has got clear of Jazzaboy into turn 1. That is for P7 on track. Jazzaboy thought about a look back up the inside at 3. Thought better of it. Those hard tyres will beginning to, well, the original medium tyres will probably begin to feel second hand now. Those on hard tyres will just begin to feel the grip fall away in the next couple of laps, I'd imagine. But Moomin Rider got ahead of Jazzaboy at turn 1, gets ahead of One Kidney Jim at turn 5, and is up into P6 and has got 3.3 seconds to chase down to have a go at Tom Hackett. Moomin currently sitting somewhere in the region of 10 seconds behind Johnny Reid, who is now right up behind Daddy Cool. This is coming in toward turn 12 as Taz gets another 3-second penalty. So Johnny Reid going to have DRS down the main straight. He's already only about 8 seconds behind Dangerous Dave, despite making a pit stop. So here we go, Johnny Reid with DRS down the main straight out of turn 15. There's the slipstream he needs. Opens up the DRS. This will be candy from a baby for Johnny as he's up into P3, back into the podium paying positions, and is in net lead of the race. We've got Jazzaboy and One Kidney Jim now. Is Jazzaboy close enough on One Kidney Jim? No, not on this occasion. Jonathan still keeping tabs with Phoenix, but that gap getting slowly bigger, currently at 1.4. Phoenix 1.6 behind Jazza, so One Kidney Jim and Jazzaboy are going to be falling back down the order on those old hard tyres that they've been on since the start of the race. And Johnny is all in P3 in that AlphaTauri, continuing his charge inside a second now of Kurt Maestro. So the gap that Johnny at the very least is planting Dangerous Dave to try and track down for Dangerous Dave to win this is already nearing a pit stop in length. As Moomin Rider now 1 second behind Tom Hackett, the two McLarens. I would imagine that this will be a very simple overtake for Moomin Rider, as Johnny will get DRS down the main straight. We'll cut back to it. This is for P2. He's already making the move by the time he gets to the DRS marker. That's how much more grip he's got through turn 15. Johnny Reid up into P2, 5.5 seconds the gap to Dangerous Dave. Tom Hackett in diving to pit lane here just as we cross over half race distance onto lap 18. We'll follow Tom Hackett because I want to see what tyre Tom puts on here. It is a set of softs, so Tom Hackett potentially going to ask a lot of those soft tyres to get to the end from here. He falls behind Red Wildfire, considering the leaders did what, 13-14 laps on softs. Tom Hackett will be asking of 16 laps off that set of tyres as Jonathan gets ahead of Jazzaboy. We just momentarily switched to the onboard of Jazza out of turn 5. So both Phoenix and Jonathan getting ahead of Jazza through the first section of the lap, and now Phoenix and Jonathan going to try and do the same, I imagine, to One Kidney in half a lap's time when they get round to the main straight. The gap at the front down to 4 seconds. Smalley and Tom Hackett came out very close to each other, just as a point of interest. Smalley on those warmed up medium tyres, Tom Hackett on those fresh soft tyres, just taking a moment to get them up to temperature, but looks like they're there now. And Tom Hackett has got 6 seconds to chase down to Red Wildfire, and that will be an overtake for P11 when he gets there, should he get there. Now here we go, Phoenix Grey and Jonathan nose to tail down the pit straight. That was One Kidney Jim and Jazzaboy diving to pit lane. And here we go. It's Jonathan to the inside of Phoenix. This is the closest he's ever been to an overtake. This would be for provisional P4 in the race, but nothing comes of it. Phoenix holds P6, Jonathan P7 or P4 and 5 when the pit stops play out. There's One Kidney Jim and Jazzaboy rumble down. One Kidney Jim remains ahead of Jazzaboy, and both drivers come out of the pits on medium tyres. So Tom Hackett going aggressive there on the soft tyres, unless he is thinking of doing another stop in the remaining 15 laps of the Grand Prix. As Jonathan still inside half a second on Phoenix, getting stuck behind Jazza and One Kidney Jim for Phoenix has really hurt him, as he's now fallen back into the crutches of Jonathan and Dino. Dangerous Dave dives to pit lane in the Williams, so Johnny Reid retakes the lead. Kurt Maestro into the pits as well, as is Daddy Cool. He'll have to make a bit of a gap there for his Alpine teammate. Indeed he does, going slow into pit lane. Moomin Rider blast past down the main straight, will retake P2 for the moment at least, as here comes Phoenix and Jonathan. Where is Dangerous Dave? Out of pit lane. There is Dangerous Dave. There is Phoenix. There is Jonathan. There is Dino. So Dangerous Dave comes out in P6. Some 4 seconds behind Phoenix Grey. That will be an almighty scrap for the last podium paying position come the end of the race. Both Alpines go on to soft tyres. Dangerous Dave is on soft tyres as well. Tom Hackett jumped Daddy Cool. There you see, just as we cut to it, Tom Hackett's warmed up soft tyres, giving him the grip to go around the outside of Daddy Cool. He's up into P8 at least now, but Daddy Cool's got 2 lap pressure soft tyres, and he's got DRS down on the inside to turn 5. That would have been a brave move up the inside, late on the brakes with cold soft tyres. Daddy Cool agreeing with me, thinking better of it, and will save the attack for later in the race. Jonathan Corin picks up a 3-second time penalty. Could that play any factor toward the end of the Grand Prix? Of course, Dangerous Dave has that 3 seconds as well. That will be something to watch out for in the remaining laps, as Johnny Reid 13.5 seconds clear now of Moomin Rider, or the length of the main straight. Just goes to show his dominance today. I really hope this isn't a commentator's curse, but he's been absolutely flying all day long. Phoenix Grey still holding off Jonathan Corin. We cut to the end of the main straight, and Jonathan still sitting there behind in that Aston Martin, trying to force a mistake from Phoenix at some point. But what this is doing is allowing Dangerous Dave to catch up to the back of these trio, and here he is now inside a second on Dino. Dino with a little lock up into turn 5 has got to stay with the pair ahead if he wants any chance of reaping the benefits of the penalties, as Tom Hackett 7.3 seconds behind Kurt Maestro, 1.6 ahead Daddy Cool. We saw that overtake out of the pits. Dangerous Dave already getting ahead of Dino. A move seemingly out of nowhere from turn 8 through turn 9 into turn 10. Dangerous Dave really trying to make use of those soft compound tyres. He's already trying to shape a move up on Jonathan into turn 12. That would have been a bold move, and now into 13 and 14. Wait Dave, he's forced a mistake, and there is Jonathan offline out of 14 on the run through 15. Dangerous Dave almost forcing his way past Jonathan there, and will pick up DRS. Jonathan having absolutely none of that. DRS slipstream back down the main straight. He's got the inside line on the run in toward turn 1. Jonathan back up into into P4. That felt like a move that needed to happen from Jonathan. As Kurt Maestro sets a new purple lap, takes that point away from Johnny Reid at least. And here we go, Dangerous Dave having a look back up the inside at turn 4. Both drivers getting DRS, so it's the better traction of Jonathan. Looks like he will just about hang on. No, Dangerous Dave back up the inside, doesn't allow the old switcheroo, and up into P4 goes Dave. Can Kurt Maestro catch the pack ahead and join the battle for the last podium position? Will there be much of a battle, as Phoenix already Dave I should say past Jonathan, past Dean, and inside half a second now of Phoenix. how good is Phoenix's defensive driving? How much of a rear gunner can he be for Moomin, who's only 5 seconds up the road? And the way Dave is using those soft compound tyres, I imagine that 5 seconds could disappear very quickly indeed. As out of 14 they come. And Dave is, just look at how close he is. He's already pulling out of turn 15. By the time they get to the DRS marker, this move's done and dusted already. There is Dave, not quite fully ahead. I thought Phoenix using some battery, maybe using its superior straight line speed. So Dave back ahead of Phoenix. And the gap already at a second. Phoenix potentially forced into a mistake at turn 3, but just by how close he was to the back of the Williams. So now Dave has got to find 2 seconds to try and hold on to that P3. One Kidney Jim and Jazzaboy both get ahead of Smalley into turn 1, 2 and 3. That is for the last point paying position, P10. As Tom Hackett as well going to have to do some defensive driving here from Daddy Cool. Devil Rejected retires from the session in the pit lane. The Ferrari driver was running P13, P14 at the time, but Tom Hackett indeed has got Daddy Cool up his backside in the McLaren. Alpine versus McLaren for P8 as it stands. Up at the front though, Johnny Reid nearly 15 seconds clear of Moomin Rider, who has got now 4 seconds to Dangerous Dave. So Dave finding a second on this lap. Phoenix losing 1.2 on this lap to Dave. Jonathan falling back off the Phoenix here, and that's going to expose him to Dino, but not expose him enough into turn 1. Sorry about that, just had a momentary coughing fit as Daddy Cool, it looked like, has just got ahead of Tom Hackett into turn 1. The joys of the DRS into turn 1, seemingly very powerful there for the Alpine. It's a blast past the McLaren, and get ahead into P8, but can Tom fight back through the remaining 10 laps of the Grand Prix? It feels weird to say that. This race feels like it has absolutely flown by. And with only 10 laps to go, Johnny Reid 15 seconds clear of Moomin Riders, who's only got 2.6 back to Dangerous Dave. Dangerous Dave has that 3-second time penalty, of course. And how much will those soft tyres degrade in the dying laps? Will they degrade at all in the dying laps? But Phoenix Grey going to have to do some more defensive driving here as Jonathan back inside 3 seconds. Back inside 1 second. And the magical DRS window that encapsulates is there is Kurt Maestro as well in the background. The other driver who pitted on the same lap as Dangerous Dave, who fitted a new set of softs, has a tyre advantage on those ahead. What can Kurt do in that Alpine in the last 9 laps to go now? As One Kidney Jim has still got Jazzaboy up the Red Bull's backside as Smalley gets a 5-second penalty for speeding in pit lane. That will be a pit stop that puts him behind Wildfire. So that's P13 now for Smalley. Meanwhile, Dangerous Dave inside a 1.5 seconds on Moomin Riders. Jonathan very close to the back of Phoenix Grey. Dino doing his best to hold off Kurt in the Alpine. Tom Hackett's just about staying with Daddy Cool. That gap still only 0.5 seconds or so. Meanwhile, up at the front, Dangerous Dave 1.1 seconds behind Moomin Rider. Won't get DRS on this occasion, but I get the sense, if you're a McLaren fan, that gap is feeling just like danger approaching from Dave. As here comes Jonathan now. This is the best run he's got on a while. Goes up the inside. Finally, no, not quite. Jumped on the brakes a little too early there. Jonathan unable to get into P4. Kurt, though, got Dino at turn 1. trying to have a go at Jonathan at turn 3, is on the outside through 4, opens up the DRS, has the racing line down to 5, is getting a little bit of slipstream off the back of Phoenix as well. Got round the outside at turn 5 goes Kurt, gets the position with better traction from those soft tyres, round the outside at turn 5, gets up into P5, a double move there for Kurt, and that Alpine looks racy on those soft tyres, just like Dangerous Dave does, who is now inside half a second on Moomin Rider as they wind their way into the third sector to that pair. This pack coming to the end of the third sector. Tom Hackett has got back ahead of Daddy Cool. Taz has just picked up a 3-second time penalty for track extension. Jazzaboy finally ahead of One Kidney Jim, but still 8 seconds behind Daddy Cool. He'll have a job to do to try and get any more than 1 point here today. Meanwhile, the battle for P2, Dangerous Dave with DRS on the McLaren. Williams versus McLaren up the inside. Dangerous Dave into P2. He's got now 3 seconds to find in 7 laps to hold on to that P2. Kurt Maestro with DRS up the inside of Phoenix Grey up into P4. He's got 7 seconds to chase down Moomin Rider if he wants a podium paying position, or at least 4.5 seconds to get inside Dave's penalty window. Kurt Maestro there, P4 ahead of Phoenix Grey, still not clear of Jonathan, who's now having a look at the inside at turn 5, and big lock up there from Phoenix. That's going to invite Jonathan on a better line on the inside at turn 5. Didn't quite get the traction he needed though, so Phoenix holds on to P5 for the moment. Daddy Cool still nestled up behind Tom Hackett. This gap between Hackett and Dino coming down to now 9 seconds. Jazzaboy holding off One Kidney Jim in P10. Just for a side note, Cinder's now inside a second of Taz Manager. That the battle for P14, just as it looked to heat up, Taz dives into pit lane. A little bit of action down there at the bottom of the field, but Johnny Reid 16.2 clear of Dangerous Dave, who's now just about got a second on Moomin Rider, but Moomin fought enough to stay inside DRS range. Now 6 laps to go here at the Portuguese Grand Prix. And Kurt Maestro 6.7 behind, 6.8 behind Moomin Rider. There you go in the background. Jonathan having another look up the inside of Phoenix Grey. Retook the racing line, and that forced Dino, who had a great run, to have a look round the outside, forced him off track, and he picks up a penalty for it. Dino there could feel a little bit hard done by, as he had to take avoiding action of Jonathan trying to retake the racing line. Jonathan now low, looking up the inside at turn 5, still nothing doing. So through goes Taz there, the lapped Mercedes driver. Daddy Cool sticking with Tom Hackett, that gap at 8.2 now. So Phoenix not only losing time to those ahead, he's losing time to those behind. Tom Hackett now 8 seconds behind on soft tyres that I believe are about 10-12 laps old from memory. It's Phoenix Grey 1.6 seconds behind Kurt Maestro now, who's 7 seconds behind Moomin, who is now outside of DRS range of Dangerous Dave, but still Dave needs over 1.5 seconds in the last 5 laps to hold on to that P2. He's going to need to really dig deep here on those soft compound tyres. Has he got anything left in them to build up that gap and hold that gap in the dying moments of the Grand Prix? Phoenix Grey, Jonathan, Dino, still very little separating them on track going through turn 1. This is going to be probably the focus of attention now for the rest of the race, with Daddy Cool and Tom Hackett doing battle. Tom Hackett picks up a 3-second time penalty just to add to his woes, while he's got Daddy Cool right up behind him. Speaking of right up behind, there goes Jonathan trying to have another look at the inside of Phoenix Grey into turn 5. Nothing going for the Aston Martin on this occasion. It's drama all through the points paying positions at the moment. Can Dave find that last 1.3 seconds to hold on to that P2? Can Phoenix hold on to that P5? He's been battling for since, well, really lap 1. What can Dino and Jonathan do despite their penalties? Tom Hackett, can he hold off Daddy Cool for P8? Of course, those penalties will have to come into effect, and what Will that reshape the order to Johnny Reid onto lap 30, as is Dangerous Dave, Moomin Rider, Kurt Maestro now as well. And here we go down the main straightaway. Phoenix has got 0.7 back to Jonathan now, so a little bit more of a gap on this occasion. 0.7 back to Dino as well in P7, so slightly less action into turn 1 on this occasion. Tom Hackett half-second clear of Daddy Cool into turn 1 as well. Nothing going there on that occasion. Jazzerboy 2.7 clear of One Kidney Jim. That was the former battle for P10, P11. What can Phoenix Grey close that gap back down to Kurt Maestro? How are those soft tyres doing? I'd love to see some numbers at this point on tyres for like Dangerous Dave and Kurt Maestro, because Moomin Rider coming back here at Dangerous Dave. 1.8 is that gap. And we saw the soft tyres drop off for the leaders on the opening stint who started on the softs. With Dangerous Dave really coming back into it as he now run into the brick wall that they found earlier on, the cliff that Martin Brundle loves to call it in real life. F1, Phoenix Grey now 2 seconds behind Kurt Maestro. But has importantly got over 1 full second clear of Jonathan. Jonathan falling away here from Phoenix. Can he hold on to P6? What can the likes of Dino do to spoil that party? Nothing on this occasion. Jonathan holding on to that P6, but Dino very close there, almost nose to tail. Very little separating the Aston Martin and the Ferrari car on that occasion. Daddy Cool and Tom Hackett still going at it for P8, and Tom still holding on by half a second. I've just realised how much rhyme I've used on that, and that was completely unintentional. One Kidney Jim 3 seconds behind Jazzerboy now for P10. That was indeed the former battle for P10. I don't think there's any way One Kidney Jim will be getting back into that with 3 laps to go. Well, not even that, as Johnny Reid rounding turn 15 to take us on to 32 of 33, the last but one. As Dino still sitting up behind Jonathan. Is there anything the Ferrari driver can do to take P6 away at the end? They have plenty of time back to Tom Hackett, who's now inside 7 seconds behind the Alpine. But up at the front, Dangerous Dave still needs 9/10 of a second on Moomin Rider to hold on to secure that P3, that P2 I should say, and it doesn't quite look like he's got the tyre left to do it. That gap isn't growing at the exponential rate that it was at the start of this stint. Phoenix Grey holding on to that P5. He's got that gap back now to Jonathan, who's now fighting for his life against Dino still. That is the battle for P6. We've got a yellow flag in Sector 1, and I don't believe it. It's Dino who's spun out on the inside of Sector 1, and he's going to lose 2 positions there to Tom Hackett and Daddy Cool. So unexpected unexpected position gain there for Tom and Daddy Cool. Emergency respite there for Jonathan. I don't know what happened. It just saw the yellow flag pop up on the exit of turn 4, and Dino had spun round. Not that any of that will be bothering our race leader Johnny Reid, who's now 1 lap away. 14 corners now, we can almost count them down for him. Through turn 3, so smooth was Johnny Reid there just when we rode on that shoulder cam. Dangerous Dave has got 2.6 ahead of Moomin Rider. That will go right to the end. That will be 1 to call. Phoenix Grey 3 seconds behind Kurt Maestro now, but 1.5 clear of Jonathan, who's got 6.5 back to Tom Hackett. Can Daddy Cool do anything into turn 1? Can he do it on track, or will he just let penalty aggregate claim that P7 for him? As we'll have a look at the penalty count now for the rest of the Grand Prix. And there you see it, 14 seconds for Smalley in P13, but Johnny Reid now 1 sector to go. There's turn 11. Turn 12 comes at you pretty quick after 11. 13 and 14 are 1 long corner, and Johnny Reid now just has 1 last traction zone to get right, 1 last turn in to get right, and there it is. turn 15, absolutely flat to the line. Johnny Reid rounds the final corner, climbs up the hill and wins the Portuguese Grand Prix by a mammoth 17 seconds to Dangerous Dave on track, who's now got one corner himself to go and has got a 10.5 to find. What can Moomin do to stay inside that 0.3 of a second? That 3 seconds. It's 2.9. It's 2.9. It's 2.9. It's not enough for Dangerous Dave. It's 2.930 across the line. Moomin Rider will claim P2 by 7/100ths of a second. That went to the very last corner. Kurt Maestro P4 for Alpine. That was a good alternate strategy that saw him climb above Phoenix Gray, who took P5. Jonathan P6, Daddy Cool, will take P7. Thank you to the penalty of Tom Hackett for that. Dino will crawl home to P9. What could have been for him? Jazzaboy P10, the last points paying position, 5 seconds clear of One Kidney Jim for Red Bull. We wait now for Red Wildlife in the second of the two Alfa Romeos, who will take P12. And Smalley in P13, the last car not to get lapped by Johnny Reid, who led from for nearly start to finish. An absolutely dominant display there from the AlphaTauri team. Driver of the day goes to Jazzaboy from the game, going from the back of the field to P10. So now we see the podium celebrations. Johnny Reid ahead of Moomin and Dangerous Dave. Dangerous Dave at 7/100ths of a second to the line. What a difference that could have been had he just got one more traction, just one slightly better burst of traction. Kurt Maestro takes home the point for the fastest lap in P4, that 18.3, doing him very nicely there indeed. Well, I believe it's customary that I give out a driver of the day for this league as well. My driver of the day, you've got some honourable mentions there. Johnny Reid winning by 17 seconds. Moomin Rider crawling onto P2. Tom Hackett with a recovery drive after that spin at the inside of turn 1. But for me, the driver of the day has to go to the man in P3. Dangerous Dave, that alternate strategy, the pace he showed to really make use of those soft tyres at the end. So unfortunate. The 7/100ths of a second. That could have got him P2, but Dangerous Dave, my driver of the day, and I believe I've heard that will earn him an extra point for the day.
The freight is sitting heavy on my shoulders. saving.